They bring colour and class to the catwalk, introducing new styles and trends. The stylish Christopher Kane, the imaginative Gareth Pugh, the street chic Luella Bartley, creative and colourful Holland, and Julien McDonald, the controversial but dazzling British designer. As one of the rising stars in the fashion scene, London-based designer Christopher Kane has been turning heads on the catwalk. Having only graduated from Central St Martin's College of Art and Design in 2006, Kane has already attracted worldwide attention and fame and is causing something of a stir in the fashion world. Before he'd even graduated, he was working for designers Russell Sage, who has been described as an edgy romantic, and Giles Deacon, who breathed beauty into British fashion. But he was also attracting the attention of some of the world's most recognizable and legendary designers, such as Donatella Versace, who hired him to help work on the Italian fashion house's Atelier Couture collection, while also consulting on their shoes and accessories. He began his own label in 2006 and appeared at London Fashion Week's New Generation venue. His debut show was set to seduce the fashion media, and he was widely tipped to become the new Versace. His minuscule creations were designed for a young female market and appeared more than a little provocative. However, he enjoys mixing both masculine and feminine styles to create a very contemporary look. His figure-hugging dresses, perhaps not for everyone, didn't leave much to the imagination. However, his amazing attention to detail and innovative ways of crafting the fabric around the female form definitely called for admiration. And like many UK designers, Kane was not afraid to experiment with new ideas. Not long after, the young designer teamed up with leading retail chain Topshop, giving shoppers a chance to own designer clothes at high street prices. This collection had the dark glamour of Scarlett O'Hara, with sparkling detail glinting against dangerously dark leather, velvet and silk.
The Topshop have been so amazing, the show venue, everything about it is just brilliant. It's so easy, and also the collection I did for Topshop, it's just a great experience really to collaborate with such a great reputable brand. It's brilliant.
Kane is also helped along thanks to his partnership with the crystal company Swarovski, and now uses their materials for both his distinctive couture and ready-to-wear styles. His next collection once again received excellent reviews, in a collection that was inspired by Australian TV soap operas. In a bold move away from his previous two collections, Kane wanted to invent a fresh new silhouette with his designs. Snakeskin prints worked their way onto structured chiffon shirt dresses and collarless fitted leather jackets. Leather skirts included butter-soft rah-rah designs that draped into handkerchief hands. Kane also introduced his first denim range during the show and continued his collaboration with Swarovski Crystal, with gems adding sparkle and shine to sheer jersey t-shirting. For his eagerly expected Autumn-Winter 2008 collections at London Fashion Week, Kane partnered with cashmere producer Johnstons of Elginby, also known as Johnstons Cashmere, to produce his own line of cashmere garments, revealing a romantic set of cashmere knitwear in greys and blacks, including long grey cardigans over trousers decorated by sequined discs. In late 2008, Kane launched his fifth collection for Spring-Summer 2009 at London Fashion Week. For this offering, he took the scalloped horizontal look and made it vertical. Grey again was prominent along with tan, green and orange. Inspiration was a little unusual, taken from the Planet of the Apes and the Flintstones. And included in this catwalk look and theme was Jurassic, with animals, cartoons and images from old films. There were also large floaty dresses that moved with the model, giving a pleasing feminine edge. He also took the pleated A-line dress and matched it with the scalloped tops, putting the unknown with something familiar. With a strong following in the fashion industry, British-based designer Christopher Kane has become an icon in such a short amount of time, thanks to his new and fresh ideas. His designs are unusual, eccentric, and can sometimes appear to be quite scary. And it's all thanks to the creative mind of British fashion designer Gareth Pugh. His theatrical designs began in his early teens when he started working for the English National Youth Theatre as a costume designer. He then went on to complete a degree in fashion design at Central St Martin's in 2003, where his use of balloons to emphasize parts of the body became one of his characteristics, and since then he has become a critical success. Anna Wintour, the editor-in-chief of American Vogue, is an avid supporter of Pugh's extraordinary designs, and he's been described as the latest addition to a long tradition of fashion as performance art, joining with other unconventional designers such as Alexander McQueen, John Galliano and Vivienne Westwood.
Britain's always been that place where people to look to for something creative, and it's still very much kind of a hotbed of creative talent.
Pugh made his solo debut during London's Autumn 2006 Fashion Week, with crowds cheering as his Harlequin-inspired collection stormed onto the catwalk. Huge inflatable puffer coats, black rubber catsuits and enormous headpieces were teamed with Doc Martens platform boots to give an urban punk feel. Models sported poodle-inspired hairstyles and austere white makeup, making the collection at times both androgynous and macabre. Since shooting to fame, he has come to be considered one of London's proudest achievers. His Spring-Summer 2007 collection unravelled like a forbidden but delicious addiction. A white fabric layer on the catwalk in the Natural History Museum became an unusual and possibly quite dangerous wind tunnel as the models appeared in more of his extravagant designs. A black and white checkered cashmere dress undulating around the body in an architectural vision appeared, while models' heads were faceless balloons, vacuum-packed in rubber with hardly decipherable air and eye holes. Mini dresses of PVC and perspex patchworks of black and white or metal mesh shifted over rubber body stockings of black, silver or white, and came under variations of the suffocating gimp masks, some decorated with gothic silver swirls, others with glittering harlequin patterns and bunched up rubber disfigurements. Pugh's signature coats, as full of air as the catwalk itself, came in silver and black checked foil, and above their puffed collars, the nightmare masks had ponytails standing erect like Spartan battle dress. In 2007, Pugh held a show of his collections from the past 5 years with Fashion in Motion at the Victorian and Albert Museum, and with his uncompromising and challenging style, he was a perfect fit. For this collection, he combined luxury fabrics such as cashmere, fur and leather with edgy materials including rubber and human hair to create a fantasy of exaggerated silhouettes and textures. The London-based designer's flair for the unusual, which is quickly becoming his trademark, has continued throughout his shows. He has included gothic looks with leather patchworks and long straps of cloth, mini skirts, torn trousers and long coats, plus furs and silver chains. He has even gone as far as basing his show on The Wizard of Oz, but giving Dorothy a hard and threatening edge. He dressed models in armour-like dresses and angular tutus with ghost white faces and blue lips, and has presented a monochromatic black and white display of armour-like designs that echo Hamlet, Ophelia and Elizabeth I. Famed for his edgy, eccentric, modernist style and sense of adventure, Gareth Pugh's futuristic approach to fashion has ignited a renewed international interest in the London fashion scene. And although no one knows what's in store for this young designer, one thing's certain, he's a genius and he's sure to surprise. She might not have started in the industry as a designer, but Luella Bartley is now thrilling audiences around the world with her funky and feminine creations. Originally, Bartley was a journalist and editor of Dazed and Confused magazine and British Vogue, but after graduating from Central St Martin's College of Art and Design, she decided to trade writing and editing for fashion to designing fashion. She established her own label in 1999 entitled Luella and displayed her first collection called Daddy, I Want a Pony. After receiving Britain's Young Designer of the Year award, she debuted her show Daddy, Who Were the Clash at London Fashion Week and became known for her girly punk style. She then took her catwalk shows to New York for a number of years and, like few others on the planet, was in touch with the young fashion-conscious girls. And whether it was a bathing suit that hugs a girl's hips or a black leather dress that would stun a crowd on any corner of the world, Bartley's fashions stand head and shoulders above the crowd. Showing her Spring-Summer 2002 collection at New York's Bryant Park, she drew inspiration from American Indian motifs with furry-looking headdresses and long suede dresses. Her mini skirts were as high as they could go, and leggings stretch far beyond what one would traditionally expect. Denim mini skirts and dresses and a variety of cowboy boots were just some of the amazing combinations that put her head and heels above the rest. Her fall collection was described as cool, hip and sexy and introduced 70s-inspired mini dresses, short denim trench coats and corduroy jumpsuits, as well as huge shoulder bags and retro crocheted shawls. Micro-mini sweater dresses with high turtlenecks were big, as were short sailor-inspired navy dresses with white trim and schoolgirl skirts with side pleats. It is said that Luella's #1 obsession is to design the perfect pair of jeans, and her obsession with denim continued into the next year, along with her version of spontaneous fun. Early January 2006, Bartley was chosen to introduce Target's Go International line, where each season a different fashion designer creates the line, which is only available for 90 days. After 6 years away from the London scene, Bartley returned to show at the London Fashion Week Spring-Summer 2008 season and timed it to coincide with the opening of her store on London's Brook Street. Helping to show off Bartley's designs was rising star Agnes Dean, one of the fashion industry's new school of models. Mixing traditional English touches like flower prints on dresses and evening gowns and mismatched pieces with punk to give her clothes a young and hip feel, she showed the world once again with a collection that was inspired by England that her imagination can still put on the style.
Everything comes from England for me, you know. Everything I'm inspired by is English, the London, the music scene, the heritage of England. So it's great to show in Claridge's, in London. You know, it's perfect for me.
Early 2008, lovers of the fashion world were presented with Bartley's darker side, with a collection recreating a Cornish fantasy world complete with pixie hats and witch dresses. Singer Lily Allen and Kelly Osbourne, daughter of rock star Ozzy Osbourne, joined a packed audience to see her Autumn-Winter 2008 collection, which included high-waisted trousers and short dresses with bell-style layered skirts. Colours progressed from girly peach to gothic black, with an interspersing of fairy tale red and green combinations. Still probably considered to many as a newcomer to the fashion industry, she has gone on to gain a list of celebrity friends who love wearing her feminine creations, from Chloe Sevigny in her pink Luella dress to Cameron Diaz gracefully wearing a black strapless mini. So, from journalist and editor of one of the world's most famous fashion magazines to one of the world's most famous fashion designers, it seems British Luella Bartley is here to stay on the fashion scene. British-born fashion designer Henry Holland, creator of House of Holland, is just as colourful and outgoing as his designs that made him known around the world. The brilliant thing about Holland is he's actually had no formal training in fashion design, and yet he's one of the hottest new designers to come out of England. His love and passion for fashion set in when he was a teenager, and he learnt a great deal about fashion from being hands-on and creative, and finding the right people to help him make his dreams become a reality.
The whole idea behind the label and any of the clothes is that they're fun and they're fun to dress up in, and it's a bit of a laugh really, so.
Originally working for teen magazine Bliss, Holland made a name for his label House of Holland in 2005 by creating 80s-inspired t-shirts in bright neon colours with catchy, cheeky slogans about fashion designers and celebrities that instantly boosted his popularity. The shirts were an instant sensation with celebrities and fashion designers for their rhyming slogans like "Love Me Some Lohan," referring to troubled young actress Lindsay Lohan, and "Flick Your Bean" for Agnes Dean, referring to best friend and muse model Agnes Dean, as well as some more provocative rhymes featuring the name of Namibian model Bahati Prinsloo. His instant fame allowed him to move from t-shirt designer to fully fledged fashion designer, creating collections that are displayed at some of the most prestigious fashion events, even being invited by the queen of the fashion scene, American Vogue's editor-in-chief Anna Wintour, to attend fashion events in New York. Holland's success has been twice as exciting, with his rise to fame coinciding with his best friend, model Agnes Dean. Hailed as the next great supermodel, Dean has been a longtime friend of Holland's, and even though her career has taken her all across the world for modeling shoots and advertising campaigns, she continues to support Holland and appear in his runway shows, often leading the way in his brilliant designs and promoting his label. In 2007, Dean led the charge wearing an oversized plum leather jacket with studs and matching hot pants in a show where Guns N' Roses lead singer Axl Rose took center stage at the House of Holland, with the fashion being inspired by the animated heavy metal singer. Other looks included tie-dye t-shirts, leopard prints and catsuits, and spandex dresses reminiscent of the 90s. Models, both men and women, were sent down the catwalk with the letter A for Axl printed on shirts, as well as studded on the back of leather jackets. Holland paid thanks to his auntie as the inspiration behind his Spring/Summer '09 show at London Fashion Week, with a catwalk featuring model of the moment Dean opening the show in floral chiffon pants over a polka-dotted body.
It started with a Beverly Hills 90210 box set, and then we sort of moved on to looking at prints and florals, and like my auntie's garden, I went to visit her and she's really into flower arranging and flowers and stuff, so yeah, all sorts.
The show was light and airy, with chiffon playing a big part, along with big floral prints. Elsewhere, polka dots featured on cycling shorts with cutouts at the thigh, worn underneath bright, bold coloured shorts. The new generation designer Henry Holland is the toast of Fashion Town at the moment, with his cutting-edge take on designs and trends. He has put a different spin on fashion with bright, over-the-top colours and designs that will forever be fun and funky. As a world-famous creator of glamorous clothing for women, British designer Julien McDonald's contribution to fashion has caused great hype and controversy. Having been taught knitting by his mother early on, McDonald's interest in fashion and design grew, leading to an education at Brighton, where he studied textiles, and the Royal College of Art, where he obtained a master's degree. Showing he had skill, he was recruited by the legendary Karl Lagerfeld to work at Chanel, as well as working freelance and designing knitwear for fellow Brit Alexander McQueen. In 2000, McDonald replaced McQueen as chief designer at the French fashion house Givenchy, and it was here that he seemed to find his groove. His early collection showed a range of ragged lace, shredded chiffon and distressed linen, all presented in the wealth of expert craftsmanship. A surprise choice to replace British bad boy McQueen at the head of the house, McDonald showed a new confidence with wistful outfits. Glass beads and rock crystals were scattered over crocheted bodices or delicate layers of tulle, while black pinstriped wool was daubed with gold paint. After being named British Fashion Designer of the Year in 2001, while also concentrating on his own label, the Welsh designer brought London Fashion Week to a close with a display of rock and roll dress to excess. Models sashayed down the runway, gold spangled in tiger print chiffon, rhinestone and leather, draped in real fox, mink and sable fur. Think 70s pop icons. No dress was too short, no boot too high, no glitter too shiny. His look in the Autumn-Winter 2004 collection was 1940s Hollywood starlet with a touch of 70s glamour. Skin-tight trousers and pencil skirts in gold or black leather were teamed with shiny shirts, tiny jackets and fur collars. McDonald, throughout his design career, has attracted a lot of attention and some criticism for his use of fur in his collections. In 2005, while showing a display of flamboyant colours and patterns with bright designs that echoed back to the 1950s and 60s, the glamour was briefly interrupted when animal rights protesters jumped onto the runway. When McDonald appeared at the end of the show to receive applause from the audience, including fashion style icon Miss Piggy, another protester got onto the runway with a sign describing him as fur scum. However, that didn't stop the elaborate designer. A few months later, he turned the Freemasons' Hall into a red carpet scene out of old-time Hollywood at London's Fashion Week, with his catwalk show featuring American it girl Paris Hilton, who dazzled the audience when she took to the runway wearing diamonds worth more than $2 million. The collection focused on the total glamour school of dress, featuring corseted gowns with peacock feather hems, long slinks dripping with sequined fringing, and Russian sable and mink jackets sparkling with crystal embroidery. Hilton then appeared with the designer in a satiny white dress adorned with stud earrings closely packed with clusters of diamonds. Naomi Campbell has also lent her supermodel power to McDonald's fashion shows, where luxurious fabrics, sequins and fur all came into play, the latter used on almost every outfit, as the designer ignored the criticism. In recent years, McDonald has lived up to his expectation of glitz and glamour, continuously dazzling the crowds that look on in awe at his creations. Having shows that draw in crowds of high-profile celebrities, Julien McDonald has grown his reputation and become a must-have designer. Honing his skills at Chanel and Givenchy before establishing his own successful line, the designer is known for his sexy, slinky, sparkly dresses and outfits that certainly do not disappoint.